In the vast and intricate tapestry of human experience, one question has persistently captivated philosophers, scholars, and everyday individuals alike. What truly defines a person's worth? Is it fame, status, or external achievements? Stoic philosophy offers a profound and enduring perspective on this matter. According to Stoicism, a person's value is not determined by such superficial things, but is measured by how they live, face adversity, and interact with the world around them. This philosophy asserts that only some people are worthy of respect, regardless of how glamorous they may appear on the surface. Certain behaviors and lifestyles render a person insignificant in the eyes of those who value virtue and character. In this complex and chaotic world, many people live without realizing that their attitudes and actions are eroding their dignity. Arrogance, dishonesty, selfishness, these vices not only strip away self-respect, but also diminish their worth in the eyes of others. Stoicism, with its profound philosophy on self-discipline and character development, reminds us that certain people and behaviors should never be respected. In this exploration, we will delve into 7 habits and behaviors that Stoic philosophy advises us not to respect. These are not trivial matters. They represent lifestyles that contradict the core values of humanity. These actions not only degrade individual worth, but also spread chaos and negativity in the lives of others. By understanding these behaviors, we can better appreciate the values we hold dear and strive to live a life worthy of respect. Arrogance. Arrogance is a trait that not only obscures the humility necessary for personal growth, but also acts as a barrier that leads us away from our core values. People consumed by arrogance refuse help, rob themselves of the opportunity to become better, and prevent themselves from listening, receiving feedback, and recognizing their weaknesses. This stagnation in personal development is detrimental to both the individual and their relationships with others. Consider the arrogant leader in the workplace who imposes their opinions without ever listening to their colleagues. They isolate themselves and reduce team morale, creating a tense and unpleasant atmosphere. Respect cannot thrive in an environment of arrogance because it is based on gratitude, understanding, and mutual recognition of each other's worth. Humility, on the other hand, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It allows individuals to open themselves up to truth, admit mistakes, and be willing to improve. This attitude fosters genuine connections and helps individuals grow. Throughout history, countless examples show how arrogance can lead to downfall. Leaders who abuse their power and celebrities who become complacent in their success gradually lose the trust and respect they once commanded. Consider the once revered figures who, due to their arrogance, faded from prominence because they could no longer practice humility. There is a well-known saying, "There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self." This highlights the truth that only by being honest and humble about oneself can real progress be made. Arrogance is not a sign of strength, but a facade that people wear to avoid confronting the truth about themselves. An arrogant person never realizes that true confidence comes from self-awareness and self-acceptance, not from proving superiority over others. So why can't we respect arrogant people? Because if someone cannot respect others or acknowledge value beyond themselves, how can they expect to earn respect from those around them? Ask yourself, can you genuinely respect someone who lacks humility, refuses to learn from mistakes, and fails to recognize the worth of others? The answer is clear: no. Respect is something that must be reciprocated, and only those who live with humility, accept themselves, and constantly strive to learn are truly deserving of it. In the pursuit of Stoic philosophy, we learn to let go of arrogance and embrace humility, for it is the path to genuine respect and sustainable growth. Dishonesty. Honesty is one of the most fundamental qualities of a person of value. According to Stoic philosophy, it's not just about speaking the truth to others, but also being truthful to oneself. This alignment between words, thoughts, and actions forms the foundation of trust, respect, and meaningful relationships with others. On the contrary, those who are dishonest destroy both their relationships with others and their relationship with themselves, and therefore they do not deserve respect. In life, we often encounter people who use dishonesty to exploit others for personal gain. They might lie in their work, their relationships, or even to themselves. This doesn't just hurt others, but also erodes their standing in society. Think of the major corruption, scandals we see in the media. Politicians and business leaders once celebrated lose everything once their deceitful actions are exposed. Credibility, honor, and the respect of society. They may temporarily hide the truth, but in the end, the truth always finds a way to come out. A prime example of dishonesty in the life of a celebrity is the case of Lance Armstrong. The former professional cyclist was once celebrated for his extraordinary victories in the Tour de France. Armstrong won 7 consecutive championships from 1999 to 2005, becoming a symbol of resilience after overcoming cancer. However, behind those glorious triumphs lay a dark truth. Armstrong had used performance-enhancing drugs to gain an advantage in the races. Armstrong not only lied about his achievements, but also went to extreme lengths to conceal his wrongdoing by manipulating and attacking those who exposed him. This demonstrated his deep dishonesty and disregard for the truth, his teammates, and the integrity of the sport, all in pursuit of maintaining his public image as a hero. Although Armstrong achieved fame and valuable titles, the price he paid was the loss of trust and respect from both his fans and the sporting community. When the truth was finally revealed, Armstrong was stripped of his titles and lost the trust of millions. This example clearly illustrates that while a person may achieve short-term success through selfishness and deceit, they will never sustain long-term respect if they prioritize self-interest over core ethical values. People who live in dishonesty wear a mask, constantly fearing that it will be removed. They can never live a peaceful or authentic life because their minds are always restless and anxious about being discovered. Ask yourself, can you respect someone you can never fully trust? The answer is no. Respect can only exist where trust is built, and trust can only thrive on the foundation of honesty. In the end, Stoic philosophy teaches us that living honestly is not just a duty to others, but also a duty to oneself. Only when we live sincerely without deceit can we achieve inner freedom and earn the respect of others. Those who live dishonestly not only destroy the trust others have in them, but also miss the chance to become the best version of themselves. For this reason, they are not worthy of respect. Join the conversation. In your own life, are you living with honesty? Do you consistently uphold transparency and sincerity in your words and actions? We would love to hear your story. In the process of exploring the profound wisdom of Stoicism, I was deeply impressed by Marcus Aurelius's famous quote, "We were born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of upper and lower teeth. So, to work in opposition to one another is against nature, and anger or rejection is opposition." This statement emphasizes that a person's life only truly finds meaning when living in a mutual relationship with the community. Someone who only cares for themselves and ignores others is like a body part acting independently. Sooner or later, that body will lose balance and collapse. Selfishness. No one can grow by only thinking of themselves. True growth happens when you learn to help and uplift others. This philosophy holds not only in Stoicism, but also in real life. Selfish people often find themselves isolated because they cannot build sustainable relationships. They may experience short-term success, but long-term happiness and fulfillment can only come from sharing and connecting with others. Meanwhile, those who live altruistically, willing to help and support others, are always loved, respected, and sought out in times of need. Another prominent example of selfishness in the life of a famous figure is the case of Bernie Madoff. The man behind the largest financial fraud in US history, Madoff was a well-known investor and financial advisor, once respected on Wall Street. He operated an investment fund using a Ponzi scheme, defrauding billions of dollars from thousands of investors over decades. Throughout this time, Madoff focused solely on enriching himself without regard for the losses and suffering he inflicted on others. Many people trusted and invested their life savings into Madoff's fund, only to later realize they had been deceived. People lost their homes, retirements, and even faith in the financial system because of his selfish actions. Madoff not only destroyed the lives of those who trusted him, but also shook the public's faith in the entire American financial and legal system. His actions are a clear example of the devastation that selfishness can cause. He prioritized personal gain over the well-being of thousands of others, and this not only cost him his freedom, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison, but he also lost the respect of the community and his family. When the scandal was exposed, Madoff spent his final years living in isolation and rejection by society. Bernie Madoff's example clearly illustrates how selfishness can lead to a downfall, not only in terms of finances, but also in morality and honor. A person who lives solely for their benefit, regardless of the harm caused to others, is never worthy of respect. Even if they achieve temporary material success, such a person, no matter how successful they may be, does not truly deserve your respect. For Stoicism, the answer is clear. Respect is not just for the successful, but for those who live with kindness, sharing and helping others. Ultimately, selfishness harms not only others, but also the one who harbors it. Only when we live for the common good, when we overcome narrow self-interest, can we truly grow and earn the respect of others. We would like to send our thanks and congratulations to you for making it halfway through today's exploration. Your presence here shows that you are fully committed to this journey. Now, let's shift your attention to the remaining 4 types of people who do not deserve respect from others. Cruelty. Cruelty is one of the most negative traits in a person, and according to Stoic philosophy, those who are cruel are undeserving of respect. Cruelty in any form is the denial of kindness, compassion, and empathy toward the suffering of others. Stoicism emphasizes that to live a life of value, we must learn to treat others with kindness and tolerance. A cruel person not only harms others, but also diminishes their moral integrity. Those who are cruel often believe they're strong when they inflict pain on others. However, they fail to realize that true strength lies not in causing harm, but in the ability to control one's emotions and act with compassion, even in the most difficult situations. Cruelty is not just a sign of moral weakness, but also reflects inner turmoil within the person. Ask yourself, can you respect someone who acts with cruelty, disregarding the feelings or suffering of others? Such individuals cannot build genuine relationships or maintain the trust of their community. A clear example of this is seen in despotic leaders, those who wield their power to oppress, harm, and control others. Figures like Joseph Stalin or Adolf Hitler caused immense pain and suffering to millions, driven by personal ambition and the pursuit of power. Their cruel actions left a dark mark on human history, and despite their power, they never earned true respect from the world. A cruel person not only harms others physically or mentally, but also erodes the shared values of society. A society can only thrive when individuals treat one another with kindness and empathy. Cruelty undermines this principle, creating instability and discord. This applies not only to extreme cases like dictatorial leaders, but also to everyday situations. Think of a boss who consistently behaves harshly and cruelly toward their employees, ignoring the stress and challenges they face. Such a leader not only demoralizes the workplace, but also loses the loyalty and respect of their team. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor and philosopher, wrote in his Meditations that when we cause pain to others, we also destroy a part of ourselves. Cruelty distances us from the fundamental values of humanity. In life, no one can respect a person who behaves cruelly, regardless of their status or power. True respect is earned by those who demonstrate kindness, empathy, and the ability to restrain themselves from causing harm, even when faced with difficult emotions. We are only truly deserving of respect when we live in harmony with empathy and with a willingness to help those around us. Thus, no matter their position in society, cruel individuals are never deserving of respect. Laziness. Have you ever wondered what happens when people choose laziness over action? According to Stoic philosophy, laziness is not only a personal escape from responsibility, but also a rejection of our role in society. A lazy person refuses to develop themselves, stops contributing to the community, and as a result, does not deserve respect. When we choose temporary comfort and ease, we not only delay personal growth, but also negatively impact the entire society. Marcus Aurelius, the great emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. What do I have to complain of? Doing my own work and returning to my post. Seeing this as a duty to the divine and to humanity, am I still going to resent it? Or would I rather be warmed under my blankets and let go of my purpose?" Marcus emphasized that each of us has a duty in life, and refusing that work means abandoning our role in the functioning of the universe. Those who are lazy not only avoid their responsibilities, but also reject life with all its opportunities for learning, growth, and contribution. Have you ever encountered someone who consistently refuses to work, avoids responsibility, or procrastinates on every task? Such people not only burden others, but also diminish their value. Laziness leads to stagnation, preventing individuals from ever realizing their full potential. A lazy person cannot earn respect because they neglect one of humanity's most noble qualities, the ability to act and improve themselves through labor and learning. A clear example of the harm caused by laziness is seen in those who abandon education or personal development in their jobs. They opt for temporary comfort, always seeking the easy way out, refusing to improve their skills, and avoiding the effort needed to advance. This not only hinders their progress, but also creates dissatisfaction among colleagues, as others must pick up the slack left behind. Laziness therefore harms both the individual and society. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, encouraged people to strive not only for personal achievement, but also for the betterment of the community. Lazy individuals fail to appreciate the value of perseverance and effort, and thus they do not deserve respect. They give up the chance to better themselves, to grow intellectually and spiritually, and in doing so, they weaken both themselves and society. In the real world, consider the lazy co-workers who never meet deadlines, fail to take responsibility, and neglect their duties. These individuals create a negative work environment and lower the productivity of the entire team. Can you respect someone who never takes responsibility and only seeks pleasure without effort? Therefore, according to Stoic philosophy, laziness is not just a personal flaw, but a rejection of one's role in society. A lazy person cannot earn respect because they are not living up to their true nature, a human being capable of learning, working, and contributing. Respect is reserved for those who are willing to overcome challenges, work hard, and strive for continuous growth each day. So can you truly respect someone who consistently avoids responsibility, refuses personal growth, and chooses laziness in life when they have abandoned the opportunity to become the best version of themselves? Share your thoughts. Close-mindedness. Being conservative and narrow-minded contradicts the spirit of Stoic philosophy, as these traits hinder individuals from accessing truth, growth, and wisdom. An overly conservative person does not only confine themselves to limited viewpoints, but also rejects differing opinions, refusing to accept change and improvement. According to Stoicism, people who live with a closed mind and stubbornness do not deserve respect because they have denied themselves the opportunity to learn and grow. Consider situations where you've encountered someone who is rigid in their opinions, refusing to listen to feedback or accept opposing views. Such people might be unwilling to take advice from colleagues or refuse to embrace innovation, even if it benefits everyone. This not only harms them personally, but also hinders collective progress. In today's world, those who are conservative often resist necessary societal, scientific, or technological changes. Instead of embracing new ideas as opportunities to learn, they close themselves off, which ultimately impedes overall growth. For example, in the field of education, a conservative teacher might refuse to adopt more effective teaching methods, clinging to outdated practices. This not only reduces teaching effectiveness, but also stifles the growth of students. The teacher may have had success in the past, but by failing to adapt to modern times, they limit their development and negatively impact the younger generation. Can we truly respect someone who is so resistant to progress and personal growth? Stoicism encourages keeping an open mind and always being ready to learn from all aspects of life. Growth cannot happen with a closed and narrow mindset because we cannot learn if we don't accept that we don't know everything. In reality, many large businesses have failed because their leaders were too conservative and unwilling to change strategies or adapt to shifting markets. Iconic companies like Kodak and Blockbuster were left behind because they refused to innovate, clinging to outdated business models. This not only damaged the companies, but also led to job losses for thousands of employees. In the end, conservatism and narrow-mindedness don't just limit personal development, but also block societal progress. When people refuse to open their minds to learning, they not only miss growth opportunities, but also push themselves into isolation and obsolescence. So, can we truly respect individuals who live in stubbornness, reject change, and constantly hinder progress? Envy, according to Stoic philosophy, is one of the most negative emotions, as it reflects dissatisfaction with one's situation and a failure to acknowledge one's true value. Envious individuals constantly compare themselves to others, endlessly desiring what others have, and instead of feeling joy for others' success, they become resentful. Such people do not deserve respect, as they lack gratitude and live in a state of suffering, ultimately destroying themselves from within. Ask yourself, can anyone truly respect someone who is always jealous of others' success, rather than striving to improve themselves? Envy is a sign of spiritual weakness. The envious are never satisfied with what they have. They are obsessed with what others achieve and constantly engage in negative self-comparison. This leads to deep disappointment, causing them to miss opportunities for self-improvement and to enjoy the achievements they have already made. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, emphasized that people must find mental freedom and accept that each person follows their path. Envy not only denies others success, but also reflects a refusal to accept and love oneself. An envious person will never find inner peace because they are always comparing and are perpetually dissatisfied with the present. A clear example of this can be seen in the workplace. Have you ever worked with someone who was constantly jealous of a colleague's promotion? Instead of learning from their success, instead of viewing others' achievements as motivation for growth, the envious person feels bitter, believing that what they lack is due to injustice. Such individuals not only damage relationships with colleagues, but also hinder their development. Envy prevents them from learning from others and improving themselves. In life, many famous figures have been criticized for letting envy drive them to destructive behavior. For instance, in the entertainment industry, there are numerous examples of artists or entrepreneurs who chose to sabotage others' careers because they could not accept the success of their peers. This not only resulted in the loss of respect from the community, but also destroyed their reputation and relationships. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, emphasized, "The happy man is satisfied with his present situation, no matter what it is, and eyes his fortune with contentment. The happy man is the one who permits reason to evaluate every condition of his existence." This philosophy reminds us that happiness does not come from achieving what others have, but from appreciating what we have already achieved. An envious person never truly feels happy because they live in a state of spiritual scarcity, always longing for things beyond their control. So, can you respect someone who does not appreciate what they have, constantly envies others, and blames life for others' success? The answer is certainly no. Respect is reserved for those who live with gratitude and who accept and love themselves. According to Stoic philosophy, only when you are content with yourself and stop comparing yourself to others will you truly deserve respect from those around you. In summary, Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect is not something that can be granted to just anyone easily. To be worthy of respect, one must live with virtues, ethics, and integrity. Negative behaviors only lead to isolation and distance from the noble values that Stoicism upholds. Therefore, choose to live rightly with humility, honesty, and gratitude. Don't live merely to be respected, but strive to be someone worthy of respect, a person who lives with morality, self-control, and a constant pursuit of self-improvement. Ask yourself, are you living a life that deserves respect, or are you falling into the negative habits that Stoicism has warned against? Only by being honest with yourself can you truly gain the respect of those around you. If you enjoyed this exploration, share your thoughts and experiences. If you have any questions or need further clarification, feel free to ask. In the journey of understanding and applying Stoic philosophy, remember that the path to genuine respect and sustainable growth lies in embracing humility, living honestly, and cultivating kindness and empathy. By adhering to these principles, you can strive to become a person worthy of respect, not just in the eyes of others, but more importantly, in your own eyes. To dive deeper into the world of Stoicism, be sure to subscribe to Stoic Self-Mastery for daily insights and practical tips. Like this video if you found it helpful. Share it with someone who could benefit from this wisdom. Leave a comment below with your thoughts and questions. Together, let's navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity.